You do not need to beg. You do not need to plead. A miracle is not something granted to the deserving, nor is it a rare occurrence meant for a chosen few. A miracle is a shift in perception, a realization that what you seek is already here. When you pray, do not pray as one who lacks, but as one who knows. Close your eyes and see not with sight, but with faith. Feel the reality of your answered prayer. If it is healing you desire, do not ask to be healed. Assume the feeling of wholeness now. If it is provision you seek, do not beg for abundance. Walk as though you already have more than enough. God, the infinite power, is not separate from you. He is within you as you. When you pray, you are not reaching outward, you are awakening to what already exists within. This is why the moment you accept something as real, in your imagination, it begins to crystallize in the physical world. Miracles do not come by struggle, they come by surrender. Let go of the doubt, the fear, the desperate need to control. Say within yourself, "It is done, I receive it now," and the unseen hand of divine power will move mountains to bring your vision into form. Gratitude is the seal upon your prayer. Give thanks, not for what is coming, but for what is. Walk in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and watch as reality bends to match your inner conviction. The miracle is not something distant. It is here now, waiting for you to believe. Speak it, feel it, trust it, and so it shall be. Prayer is not an act of pleading, nor is it an appeal to a distant power that may or may not grant your request. True prayer is the deep, unwavering conviction that what you seek is already yours. It is not a request, but an inner knowing, a state of being that aligns with the reality you desire. When you pray in this way, you are not looking to an outside force to change your circumstances. You are shifting your awareness to a state where your desire is already fulfilled. To truly understand this, one must let go of the common idea that prayer is about asking and waiting. Many believe that prayer is about convincing God to intervene, as though He withholds blessings until we prove ourselves worthy. But this is a misunderstanding. God does not withhold anything. He does not require endless requests or rituals to be persuaded. The power that creates miracles is already within you, waiting for you to claim what is yours. When you pray correctly, you do not pray as someone who lacks, but as someone who has. You do not focus on what is missing, for that only affirms its absence. Instead, you enter into a state where your desire is already a present reality. If you are seeking love, you do not pray as someone who is lonely. You do not ask and wait, hoping that love will come. Instead, you assume the feeling of already being deeply loved. You live in the consciousness of being cherished, wanted, and valued. In doing so, you align yourself with the reality where love naturally appears in your life. If it is abundance you seek, you do not pray as one who is struggling. You do not plead for money, nor do you lament your lack. Instead, you step into the feeling of already having more than enough. You think, speak, and act as though prosperity is your natural state. When this assumption is held with conviction, it manifests in ways beyond your comprehension. This is not wishful thinking. It is the law of creation. Every moment of your life is an answered prayer. The conditions you see around you are simply the reflection of what you have assumed to be true. If you live in constant worry, assuming that things will go wrong, your world will reflect that. If you believe you are always overlooked, unworthy, or incapable, your life will continue to prove it to you. But the moment you shift into the consciousness of your desire already fulfilled, your outer world must follow. This is why faith is the key. Faith is not blind hope, it is certainty. It is walking in the unseen reality, knowing that what you have accepted inwardly will soon be seen outwardly. The one who truly prays does not look for signs, nor do they check for proof. They rest in the assurance that the work is already done, just as a farmer does not dig up the soil each day to see if the seed is growing. The one who prays in faith does not worry about when or how the manifestation will come. They simply know it is on its way. The greatest mistake people make in prayer is approaching it from a place of desperation. They believe that if they beg hard enough, if they cry enough, if they plead with enough sincerity, then perhaps God will grant their request. But true prayer does not function on effort. It functions on certainty. It is the quiet, unwavering assumption that what is desired is already established. Gratitude is the final seal of true prayer. The moment you give thanks for something, you affirm that it is already yours. This is why those who live in gratitude see their lives filled with abundance. They do not wait for things to change before they give thanks. They give thanks first, and then reality conforms to their inner state. Pray not as one who lacks, but as one who already possesses. Let your prayer be an act of assuming, feeling, and knowing. Do not ask, receive. Do not wish, believe. And what you have accepted in your heart must, in time, appear in your world. God is not a distant force, separate from you, residing in some faraway heaven. He is not an external power you must petition, nor is he an entity that grants or denies blessings based on merit. The truth is far greater than what most have been taught. God dwells within you as your very own consciousness. The divine presence you seek is not outside of you, it is you. The power to shape your reality, to manifest the life you desire, is not something you must acquire. It is something you must awaken to. It has always been within you, waiting for recognition. This understanding changes everything. The moment you realize that God is not separate from you, but is the essence of your being, you stop looking outside yourself for miracles. You stop believing that you must struggle, beg, or prove yourself worthy of divine favor. Instead, you recognize that creation responds to your inner state. Your life, as it appears now, is nothing more than a reflection of your consciousness, of what you have accepted as true about yourself and the world. When you truly grasp this, you see that manifestation is not about forcing things to happen. It is not about using willpower to bend reality to your desires. The key is not effort, but awareness. The moment you become aware of yourself as already possessing what you seek, reality has no choice but to conform. You are always creating, whether you realize it or not. Every thought, every assumption, every deep-seated belief is a form of prayer, shaping your world in ways seen and unseen. Miracles are not rare gifts granted to a select few. They are the natural outpouring of an awakened consciousness. To those who understand, miracles are not supernatural, they are simply the result of a shift in awareness. The sick become well, the poor become prosperous, the lonely find love, not because an external power intervenes, but because they have stepped into the awareness of already being whole, abundant, and loved. The moment you assume the consciousness of your desire fulfilled, unseen forces begin arranging circumstances in your favor. Many struggle because they still hold on to the idea that power lies outside of them. They believe that if they perform the right actions, say the right words, or follow the right traditions, they will be blessed. But all of this is unnecessary. The only thing required is the shift in your awareness, the deep, unshakable knowing that what you desire is already yours. This is why faith is so powerful. Faith is not about hoping for something to happen. It is about knowing it has already happened. The one who truly understands does not wait for proof, nor do they seek validation from the external world. They trust completely, resting in the certainty that their assumption must solidify into reality. When you accept this truth, doubt fades away. You no longer waver, no longer question when or how. You simply live in the end, knowing that the unseen must become seen. But to maintain this awareness, you must guard your thoughts. The world around you will try to convince you otherwise. It will present you with appearances of lack, delay, and impossibility. But do not be deceived by what your eyes see. Circumstances do not create consciousness. consciousness creates circumstances. The outer world is simply a mirror reflecting back the contents of your mind. What are you accepting as true? Are you living in the awareness of limitation, or are you resting in the knowing that all things are possible? The choice is yours. The moment you claim your divine inheritance, the moment you stand firm in the awareness of your own creative power, life will begin to transform before your very eyes. The power to manifest miracles has never been outside of you. It has always been within, waiting for you to awaken to it. Faith is not about seeing with the physical eyes, but with the inner vision. It is the ability to look beyond appearances, beyond circumstances, beyond the limitations of the material world, and to see what is yet unseen. Faith is knowing that what you accept as true in your inner world will inevitably manifest in your outer reality. It is not wishful thinking or blind optimism. It is the law of creation in action. Everything that exists in the physical realm first began as an unseen reality in someone's consciousness. The world you experience is nothing more than a reflection of your internal beliefs. If you accept lack, struggle, and limitation as truth within, then you will continue to see these conditions in your life. But if you accept abundance, love, and fulfillment as your reality, even before there is physical proof, then the world must conform to that assumption. The process of creation is not one of force, nor is it dependent on external conditions. It is the quiet, effortless unfolding of what has already been established in the mind. This is why faith is so powerful. It is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, between possibility and reality. Those who understand this no longer rely on what their eyes tell them. They do not wait for circumstances to change before they believe. They believe first, and then circumstances must follow. The mistake many make is allowing the physical world to dictate their faith. They say, I will believe it when I see it. But this is the exact opposite of how faith works. Faith says, I will see it because I believe it. Miracles happen when belief overrides doubt. The only thing that stands between you and the life you desire is the doubt that creeps into your mind, the hesitation that questions whether it is truly possible. But doubt is not real. It is only the absence of belief. The moment you refuse to entertain it, the moment you stand firm in your assumption, you remove the only obstacle between you and your manifestation. Consider this. When you plant a seed in the ground, you do not dig it up each day to check if it is growing. You do not question whether it will become a tree. You know that if you have planted the seed and given it the right conditions, the growth is inevitable. In the same way, once you have accepted something as true in your consciousness, you must rest in that knowing. You do not need to force it, you do not need to beg, and you do not need to check for signs. You simply trust that it is done. The world is filled with those who allow fear and doubt to dictate their reality. They say they want change, but they continue to focus on the absence of what they desire. They pray for healing while dwelling in the awareness of illness. They ask for prosperity while continuing to believe in struggle. But faith does not work this way. Faith demands that you shift your awareness completely. You must no longer see yourself as lacking, but as already possessing. You must no longer speak of delays and obstacles, but of fulfillment and certainty. When belief is strong enough, reality bends to match it. This is why those who truly understand faith live differently. They are not disturbed by circumstances, nor are they moved by temporary setbacks. They know that what they have accepted within will, without fail, appear in the world around them. They do not need to chase or strive. They simply remain in the state of knowing, and the unseen forces of creation work on their behalf. If you desire a miracle, you must first accept that it is already done, not as something that might happen, not as something you hope for, but as something that is already a reality in the unseen. Faith is not passive. It is the active assumption that what you desire is already yours. The moment you align with this truth, doubt loses its power, and the miracle you seek must come to pass. Your imagination is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, between desire and fulfillment. It is not a fleeting daydream or idle fantasy. It is the creative power of God flowing through you. Everything you have ever experienced, whether joyful or painful, whether desired or undesired, was first imagined in some way. Your imagination is not separate from reality. It is the very foundation of it. What you consistently feel and picture within will harden into fact in your life. Most people do not realize this truth. They believe that circumstances shape their lives, that they are at the mercy of fate, chance, or the decisions of others. But in reality, it is the inner world, the world of imagination, that dictates what unfolds in the external world. Look at your life now, at everything that surrounds you. Your relationships, your financial situation, your health, your successes, and your struggles are all reflections of the assumptions you have held within. Whether consciously or unconsciously, you have imagined them into being. This is why prayer is not about begging or pleading for change. True prayer is the inner movement of consciousness, the quiet but deliberate act of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It is the deep knowing that what you have imagined is already yours. When you persist in this state, when you make it more real within than the world around you, then it must manifest. This is not speculation or mere philosophy. It is an unchanging law. The mistake many make is allowing the outer world to dictate their imagination instead of using their imagination to shape the outer world. They see lack and struggle and they continue to dwell on it in their minds. They replay past failures, reinforcing the very things they wish to escape. But the secret to transformation is simple. Imagine only what you desire to experience. If you desire abundance, you must see yourself as already abundant. Feel it. Walk in that awareness. Let it become so real within you that the idea of lack feels foreign. If you desire love, do not focus on loneliness or the absence of affection. Instead, immerse yourself in the feeling of being deeply loved, cherished, and valued. If you seek healing, do not dwell on illness or pain. See yourself whole, vibrant, and strong. Your body and circumstances must conform to what you have consistently impressed upon your imagination. It is not enough to imagine something once and then return to doubt and fear. The key is consistency. Whatever you persist in assuming will become your reality. This is why many struggle. They waver between faith and doubt, between belief and fear. But the one who understands remains unwavering. They know that the unseen is just as real, if not more real, than what the senses perceive. They trust that what they have imagined will harden into fact. To truly grasp this, you must move beyond mere intellectual understanding and apply it in your daily life. Observe your thoughts. What are you constantly picturing within? What emotions are you dwelling in? If you wish to change your life, you must first change what you consistently feel and picture in your mind. Begin today. Close your eyes and see yourself as you wish to be. Feel it deeply. Let it become so natural to you that it feels like the only reality. And then persist. When you do this, you will no longer pray in desperation, hoping that something outside of you will change your circumstances. Instead, you will pray with confidence, knowing that what you have imagined is already unfolding. You will move through life with an unshakable faith, because you understand that your imagination is the bridge to answered prayer. The world may call it a miracle, but you will know it as the law in action. When you pray, the greatest mistake you can make is to concern yourself with how and when your desire will manifest. The mind, conditioned by the world, seeks certainty in the form of timelines and methods, wanting to see proof before believing. But true prayer does not operate in this way. It is not about forcing things to happen or controlling every detail. It is about surrendering to the unseen reality and trusting that it is already done. The moment you fully accept that your prayer is answered, reality will rearrange itself to reflect that truth. You must understand that creation is already finished. Every possible outcome, every potential version of your life already exists. When you pray, you are not bringing something into existence. You are simply aligning yourself with the version of reality where your desire is already fulfilled. This is why it is essential to detach from the process. The moment you declare something as yours, the unseen forces of life begin moving to bring it into form. Your only task is to remain in the state of knowing, unwavering in your conviction that it is already so. Doubt is the only thing that delays manifestation. The moment you question whether it will happen, you shift yourself out of alignment with your desire. Many people pray, but instead of resting in faith, they constantly look for signs, question if they are doing it right, or worry about how long it will take. This very act of questioning interferes resistance. If you plant a seed and keep digging it up to check if it is growing, you interfere with the process. But if you trust that the seed is doing what it is meant to do, you leave it undisturbed, knowing that in due time it will sprout. So it is with prayer. The moment you have assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled, your work is done. You do not need to chase, force, or beg. You do not need to ask, when will it happen or how will it happen? These questions only reinforce the idea that your desire is separate from you. But the truth is, what you have accepted in consciousness is already a fact. It exists now, even if the physical world has not yet caught up. If you order something online, you do not sit by the door anxiously wondering if it will arrive. You trust the process. You know that it is on its way. You go about your day with a quiet assurance that it will be delivered. This is the mindset you must cultivate with prayer. The moment you have placed your order in the unseen, through your assumption and belief, you must let go and trust. This trust is not passive. It is a deep inner conviction. You continue living as though it is already done. You speak, think, and act in harmony with your fulfilled desire. You are not waiting. You are being. You do not wonder if you will receive. You know that you have received. And because reality must conform to your inner state, it will, without fail, reflect that truth. When you master this, you will no longer pray from a place of lack. You will no longer feel anxious or desperate. You will pray with authority, knowing that what you seek is already yours. The world may not understand this power, but you will see its effects in every area of your life. The more you detach from the how and when, your only responsibility is to assume the state of the wish fulfilled and persist in it. Do this, and life will unfold in ways beyond your comprehension. The right people, the right circumstances, and the perfect timing will all fall into place effortlessly. Not because you forced them to, but because you aligned yourself with the inevitable. This is the secret to answered prayer. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it is a powerful creative force. It is the language of miracles, the bridge between the unseen and the seen. When you give thanks as if your request has already been fulfilled, you align yourself with the reality where it exists. This is the key to effortless manifestation. Acting as though what you desire is already yours, without doubt, without hesitation. Most people express gratitude only after receiving what they want. They wait for evidence before they believe, before they give thanks. But this is backwards. True gratitude precedes the manifestation. It is the sign of unwavering faith, the knowing that what you have asked for is already done. When you cultivate this level of gratitude, reality has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your inner conviction. The world operates on vibration. Every thought, every feeling carries a frequency. Gratitude is one of the highest frequencies, aligning you with abundance, joy, and fulfillment. When you dwell in gratitude, you send out a signal to the universe that you already possess what you desire. And because like attracts like, this signal draws your desire into physical form. This is why those who live in gratitude seem to receive more and more to be thankful for. They are constantly tuning into the reality where abundance flows effortlessly. To use gratitude as a tool for manifestation, you must learn to give thanks in advance. Before you see any change, before you receive any proof, you must express deep, genuine appreciation. Not as a ritual or mere words, but as a state of being. You must feel the joy, the relief, the excitement, as if it has already happened. This is the essence of true faith. Imagine for a moment that your greatest desire has already been fulfilled. How would you feel? What emotions would flood your heart? Peace, excitement, a deep sense of relief. Now hold on to that feeling. Make it real within you. This is how you should pray. Not by asking repeatedly, but by giving thanks, as if it is already done. Many fail to manifest because they focus on the lack, on what is missing. They pray for abundance while feeling poor, for love while feeling lonely, for healing while focusing on illness. This contradiction blocks the very thing they seek. But when you shift into gratitude, you shift into receiving mode. You no longer operate from a state of lack, you operate from fulfillment. You must train yourself to see beyond appearances. Even if your current reality does not yet reflect your desire, you must not be swayed by what your senses tell you. Gratitude is an act of faith, a declaration that the unseen is just as real as the seen. When you give thanks for something that has not yet appeared, you accelerate its arrival. This practice applies to every area of life. If you seek financial abundance, give thanks for the wealth that is already flowing to you. If you desire love, express gratitude for the deep, fulfilling relationship that is already yours. If you long for healing, thank your body for its perfect restoration. Whatever you seek, let your gratitude affirm that it is already accomplished. Gratitude does not mean ignoring challenges or pretending that difficulties do not exist. It means choosing to focus on what is true beyond appearances. It means recognizing that, regardless of what the outer world shows, the inner reality is already set in motion. When you make gratitude a way of life, miracles become inevitable. Each day, before you go to sleep, take a moment to reflect on all that you are grateful for, not just for what you have, but for what is coming, for what is already done in the unseen. Feel the joy of fulfillment, and let that be the state in which you rest. When you wake up, begin your day the same way, with a heart full of thanks, knowing that life is always working in your favor. Gratitude is the ultimate prayer. It is the assurance that what you seek is already yours. When you master this, you will no longer wonder when your desires will manifest. You will know without a doubt that they are unfolding perfectly. And soon, what was once invisible will become undeniable. This is the power of gratitude, the language of miracles. The power of prayer is not in pleading, but in knowing. It is not in asking repeatedly, but in assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. God dwells within you as your own consciousness, and the miracles you seek are already present in the unseen. Faith is the bridge between what is imagined and what is experienced, and gratitude is the language that affirms its reality. When you detach from the how and when you trust completely that your prayer is already answered, life will unfold in perfect alignment with your belief. Your imagination shapes your world, and what you hold in consciousness must externalize itself in time. The moment you truly accept that your desire is fulfilled, reality will shift to reflect it. You are never waiting for miracles. Miracles are waiting for you to align with them. Live in the feeling of already having, speak the words of already receiving, and carry the gratitude of already experiencing. This is the secret to answered prayer.